Are you too busy to make time for your language practice? Me too. Feels rubbish, doesn't it? In this video, I'm going to explore a number of ways that we can find tiny chunks in our day to practice our language without it feeling like a chore, without it feeling difficult, and we cut through that resistance that stops us from even starting. I'm Louisa. I'm a language coach and a translator living in Madrid for the last 24 years or so. And for the last 5 or so years, I've been helping people who are stuck with their languages get back that innate ability that we all had to pick up a new language effortlessly when we were babies. We all have it within us, and sometimes we just forget. We get too crowded out by the noise that tells us we're not good enough, or the ways that we learnt at school that made us think that it had to be hard. It does not have to be hard. It has to be light, fun, joyful, and really, really doable, like just so easy to fit into your day that you don't even think about it. So the first thing I would say is that we need to find ways to make our language practice, whatever our goal is, we need to take that goal and bring it right down into the tiniest little chunks that make it impossible for us to fail. So if your goal is to speak fluently, you need to be practicing in tiny little amounts throughout your day, whether that's talking to yourself in your target language or listening to native speakers and copying what they say. You can do this in tiny chunks throughout your day. So, for example, say you're washing the dishes, it's a 2-minute chore, and you can speak to yourself in your target language. Just talk about what you're seeing, oh, there's lots of dirty dishes in the sink. How are you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling frustrated. Why is it always me that has to do the dirty dishes? Why did they, you know who they are, why did they leave the dishes again for me to do? Those kind of thoughts that often pop up when we're doing the dishes. And then perhaps we can switch it to more positive thoughts like, these are the dishes from last night's dinner. That was a lovely dinner. We connected so nicely over the meal, over the food. We had a moment to talk to each other after our busy days. I'm grateful for that. So that's just one idea, but you can do that in 2 minutes or in a 5-minute version if you've got a lot of dishes. Whatever your goal is, so that was an example for speaking, but if your goal is to read better or to write better, then you can just do a 2-minute or a 5-minute goal, like chunking it down. I'll just write 2 sentences, or I'll just write 5 sentences each time that I remember to practice. And then remembering to practice is the other key, okay? So if we can make it automatic so that we cut out the resistance, it will be so much easier for us to remember. It won't feel like such a big thing, and we can do it even if we're super, super busy. So for example, I talked in my last video about ways that we can anchor our practice to something that we already do, or some places in some parts of our day that are routine, like having a shower. Like I associate the shower now with my Japanese practice or my French practice sometimes. I don't know why I don't do Portuguese in the shower. Maybe I need to do that. I sometimes, I don't do this often, but I sometimes treat myself to a couple of minutes or 5 minutes or a bit more, lying in my hammock in the garden. And it's a total treat. And that's when I read Portuguese. I read a bit, I've got a Portuguese poem book right by the door here. And I just head out into the garden for 5 minutes of Portuguese poetry. It's not the best fluency boosting hack, but it certainly boosts my joy. And it makes me, feel better about not abandoning my language practice when I'm super busy. Because we can all take 5 minutes. Maybe it sometimes feels like we can't, but when we slow down, we can actually get more done. We're more effective and we make better use of our time. That Mary Oliver quote, "What are you going to do with your one wild and precious life?" springs to mind here. I think that's the key. Just slowing down so we can fit more in, more of what matters, the things that are aligned with our big goals. So I've mentioned the shower or the sink when we're washing up. Some other places that are part of your daily routine might be your car or the bus, train. If you've got a commute in the mornings, that's a perfect time. Obviously, it's good for listening. Join the millions of ants out there that are all identical, going off to their work, popping in the earbuds and ignoring everyone else around them. I am one sometimes, not very often, but it's another great time to listen to the radio if you're old school, or pop on a podcast, or listen to a YouTube video. I think you can download them if you pay. I don't pay. If you're still struggling to see how you can fit even 2 minutes of your target language into your busy, busy life, then hop on over to my Facebook group and get some accountability, because that's the final thing I would say. It's often when we have these big goals of getting fluent by the end of the year or by the end of 2026, it's hard to put them into practice on our own because we're just doing the same old, right? We've got the same stories going around our head telling us we're too busy. But if we're in a group, somehow the energy magically lifts and everyone inspires each other. Like, I'm in a number of different groups online. Leo Babauta's Zen Habits, a Fearless Living Academy. And I'm in the lovely Soul Explorers by Kelly Pietrangeli. And I'm in an amazing group for YouTubers led by the wonderful Ruri Ohama. And why did I have to say that in a kind of hybrid accent? I don't know. And being in a group of people that are working towards similar goals is so powerful for helping me stick to the things that feel hard, making them feel easier. Just something someone will say that just triggers something and makes me see things in a different way. So I dream of having a little group like that online one day. At the moment, I'm just starting out. So I've got a free group coaching session that's coming up. I'll put the information in the link below. We're going to explore different ways to get you unstuck in your target language. So I'd love to see you there. Do sign up to the link below. I wanted to keep it quick today because the last video I did was so long and it included, outtakes at the end, making it a minute or two longer. And I promised at the beginning to put chapter marks in, but I failed to activate them when I uploaded it. Tech issue on my part. And so the video totally flopped. Well, I'm assuming that's why the video totally flopped. It might just be that the other thing could have been that I was really arrogant when I played it back. I thought, gosh, I sound really arrogant and annoying in the in the first few seconds of the video. I wasn't feeling arrogant. I was feeling really scared to talk on camera. So that's what often happens, isn't it? When we're feeling nervous, we overcompensate. Anyway, have a look at that video if you want to find ways to think in your target language to make it easy and effortless. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for supporting me in my dream it's not really a dream of mine to be a YouTuber, I have to say. I started this channel to sell my books more and to help people. So when I published my book, loads of people told me, Louisa, this is so helpful, but you could apply it to any language, not just Spanish. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So I don't know, one crazy idea that started as a chat in a pub became my YouTube channel, and I'm learning and growing as I go along. It's hard. I'm not a natural talking on camera, in case you hadn't noticed. I am a really strong introvert. I've always hidden behind the written word before. I had a blog for 10 years or something. But this is me stepping up, doing the things that scare me, to hopefully inspire you to do the things that feel a bit uncomfortable to you and help it all become a little bit easier, a little bit more joyful and easeful as we progress towards our big goals. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment if you had an aha. Let me know, commit down below in the comments to what your tiny chunks of language practice are going to be that will fit easily into your routine and that you will be able to automate really quickly. Okay. It's so hard to switch off sometimes. It's so hard to say bye-bye. Why? It's so hard to say goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.